It was probably very important for me. I haven't thought about this for a long time, so it was probably very important for me that at the point I was going to PS24, the only Negro school principal, as far as I know, in the entire history of New York, was the principal. It was a woman named Mrs. Ayer. And she liked me. And in a way, I guess she proved to me that I could, that I didn't have to be entirely defined by my circumstances. Because you know that every Negro child knows what his circumstances are, though he can't articulate them, because he's born into a republic which assures him, in as many ways as it knows how, and has got great force, that he has a certain place and he can never rise above it. And what has happened in Harlem since is that generation has passed away.
Mrs. Ayer was a sort of a model, in a sense.
She was a proof.
Proof.
She was a living proof that I was not necessarily what the country said I was.
And it is significant, Jim, that we do not have a single Negro principal in the New York public school system today.
And it's not because there ain't nobody around who can do it, you know. One's involved in a very curious and a very serious battle, concerning which I think the time is going to be as explicit as one can possibly be. The great victims in this country of the institution called segregation, which is not a Southern custom, which has been for 100 years a national way of life. The great victims are the white people, the white man's children. Lorraine Hansberry said this afternoon, we were talking about the problem of being a Negro male in this society. Lorraine said that she wasn't too concerned really about Negro manhood, since they had managed to do and to endure and to even transcend some fantastic things. But she was very worried about a civilization which could produce those 5 policemen standing on the Negro woman's neck in Birmingham or wherever it was. And I am too. I'm terrified at the moral apathy, the death of the heart, which is happening in my country. These people have deluded themselves for so long that they really don't think I'm human. I base this on their conduct, not on what they say. And this means that they have become, in themselves, moral monsters.
Well, Jim, I can see...
That's a terrible indictment.
Yes.
One has got to force, somehow, from Washington, a moral commitment, not to the Negro people, but to the life of this country. It doesn't matter any longer, and I'm speaking for myself, for Jimmy Baldwin, and I think I'm speaking for a great many other Negroes too. It doesn't matter any longer what you do to me. You can put me in jail, you can kill me, but by the time I was 17, you had done everything that you could do to me. The problem now is, how are you going to save yourselves?
Now the time has come for this nation to fulfill its promise. The events in Birmingham and elsewhere have so increased the cries for equality that no city or state or legislative body can prudently choose to ignore them. I shall ask the Congress of the United States to act, to make a commitment it has not fully made in this century to the proposition that race has no place in American life or law.
The United States Senate will not be intimidated. We will not be kept out of this chamber by thugs, mobs, or threats.
The votes for President of the United States are as follows. Joseph R. Biden, Jr. of the state of Delaware has received 306 votes. Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida has received 232 votes.